All right, this video is going to be a little different than the past. Basically, right now we've been getting ready for our next trip, which is down to Branson. And actually, by the time you're watching this, we'll probably be in Branson. But I kind of want to go over our last trip, what happened there, and just kind of what we've been doing to get ready for this trip. Last trip, we were headed up to Branched Oak State Park in Raymond, Nebraska. We had some circumstances come up and we decided to change our plans a little bit and go south again. And we had picked a campground called Horseshoe Bend Campground. And we kind of picked it because they had a bunch of sites that were first come, first serve. So we figured we'd be able to get down there early enough on Friday, we'd have no problem. Well, we had to stop on the way down at Walmart to get a 50 amp to 30 amp adapter because we didn't have one of those yet. And most of the first come, first serve sites were 50 amp. So we went down there and did that. Side note, anybody that knows me knows I hate Walmart. And I kind of thought, well, maybe a Walmart near Bentonville, Arkansas, which is their headquarters, may be better. It's not. So, words to the wise, just skip Walmart. Anyway, back to the story. We got to the campsite at about right around 1 in the afternoon, completely booked up. So we pulled over real quick, started looking around, trying to figure out where the next possible site would be. We ended up finding a site that was about 10 miles away. It was, I have notes, hang on. Prairie Creek Campground. Prairie Creek Campground. There we go. And anyway, so we called them. They're like, if you hurry up and get here, we've got a couple sites left. So we pulled in, ended up finding one site. As we were going to go look at the other sites, it was taken. So we hurried up and grabbed the site that was available real quick and stayed there. For the most part, it wasn't a bad campground. It was just that it had a day use area with the beach. There was a lot of people there on Saturday to use that. The interesting thing about that campground, though, was that it had the tamest deer I've ever seen in my life. At one point, even, we pulled over to look at the deer. I rolled down the window so Tammy could get a picture, and it started walking towards the window. Ended up getting about 6 feet away from the car before we ended up leaving. Lessons learned on that trip. I did find the first thing that I'm a little disappointed with on the tag, and that is the air conditioning. My original thought was an air conditioner to cool down an area that small shouldn't have any problem at all. Well, what I found is that that's right to a point, but the air conditioner is also inside. It's basically a window unit inside of an enclosed space. So the window unit creates heat, so it somewhat fights itself. There are ventilation fans to try to draw in fresh air and blow out the warm air. I think it could be designed better, and there are several on the tag forums that kind of share that sentiment. But for the most part, it wasn't bad. It was a very hot weekend, I will give it that. And even with it being very hot and having Bagheera, Tammy, and I, all three in the space, we were still able to keep it to low 70s. Well, let's go down and I will show you what I was talking about on the air conditioner. All right, and please pardon my mess in the garage. As I said, we have been working on getting ready for this trip, so it's been kind of a mess. Let me flip this around and we will look at that air conditioner. All right, you can see, and as I said, it's basically a window unit stuck inside the camper. There is a little ventilation over here on the side, and it's basically the same on the other side. And the exhaust fans, there's one over on this side that sucks air in, over here sucks air in, and then down below blows the air out the bottom. But like I said, even this small space, it did a mediocre job on very warm days. All right, so other than that, I mean, it turned out to be a pretty good weekend. While I'm down here, let me show you what I've been working on for this weekend. One thing that we needed was a more permanent solution for the Fire Stick for the TV. So we've got an adapter back here to plug that into a component, Fire Stick here, and then the audio runs through behind the cabinet and then over there to the DVD/surround sound system. So coming around here to the back, one of the things we did was we were having issues with this corner rubbing on our canopy. So basically I just got some pipe insulation, put some Velcro on the inside to stick it in underneath here, and that should serve its purpose so that metal corner is not rubbing on the canopy anymore. Another thing we did was, you might have seen in one of my previous videos where I was having issues whenever it was windy trying to cook anything on this stove. So basically, and this is not my idea, I did steal it off the tag forum, but it's just a little wind guard for the stove so that hopefully that helps whenever it's windy outside. And those are probably about the biggest changes to the trailer. The other thing we were working on a little bit was the paddle boards. We did add the GoPro surf mount up front, and then we were having issues with the registration label sticking last year. So we bought these little pads that hopefully that the registration sticker will stick better to it. So anyhow, that's all I have on this one. If you're still watching, thank you. I should probably give you some sort of prize for that. But anyhow, hopefully the next video will be a little better prepared. So have a good one, and I'll see you then.